Hey guys, Bill here with Bill's thought of the day. Every time I turn this thing on, she starts making noise. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, I was on a Zoom with some friends, and we were talking about New Year's resolutions. And one of the things, obviously, when you're talking New Year's resolutions, that came up was weight loss. And it made me stop in my tracks for a second because all of us that were on the Zoom, we all know health, nutrition, weight loss, fat loss, and it kind of, something clicked. I don't know if it was a good thing, a bad thing, but I got a little agitated because we were saying weight loss. And a lot of what we teach is about fat loss. And if the people doing the teaching, myself and my friends that help to educate people, help them reach their goals, if we're talking about weight loss as opposed to talking about fat loss, it's kind of not defeating the purpose, but it's not helping. It's not helping people the way I think we should be helping people. The reason why is weight loss in and of itself isn't necessarily a good thing. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. From their studies, 2022, the latest statistics came out. There may be more since then, but I haven't been able to find any. That, 73% of U.S. adults are overweight or obese. I don't question the number. I question how we come up with the number. Most of the time, it's a doctor in a doctor's office. Boom, they get your weight, they get your height, they put it either into the computer or they look at a chart. Boom, here's your what they call your BMI, and depending on where your BMI falls, they'll say whether you're overweight or you're obese. Two issues. One, on the BMI scale, I am considered morbidly obese because the BMI does not take into account muscle. It just looks at your height versus your weight. I am 5'10", about 210 pounds. And through that scale, I'm morbidly obese. I don't consider myself morbidly obese, but that's according to that's what I am. And anyone that exercises, you're going to be higher on that scale because of the density of muscle. Now, the BMI scale, it served its purpose back in the day. The BMI scale was invented in 1830. So, that is roughly 200 years ago, and we're still using it today to determine if someone is at the proper weight. The only thing I think that we're using from 200 years ago is the wheel and the BMI scale. So I want us to stop focusing on weight. Weight to me means absolutely nothing. It is a pretty number. It's something that somebody can sell you, and it's really taking the easy way out for a doctor, for a fitness professional, for healthcare, whatever you want to say. It's taking the easy way out. There's a lot more markers that we should be focusing on that will give us a better understanding. And again, so I want to challenge everybody, for your resolution, don't go to weight loss. Let's go to fat loss. I'm not worried about if someone's overweight based on the BMI scale. What I am concerned with is someone who's over fat. The problem with being over fat is there's a lot of diseases that are associated with having too much body fat. And I think the BMI scale that was the purpose of it. But as times have changed, that BMI scale hasn't adjusted for it. There's a lot more people working out now than ever. So the BMI scale is gonna be off. So what I want to do is let's focus on body fat percentage. Let's use that as a marker. I understand why doctors didn't always use it, because it was hard. You had to do skin fold calipers or all these other methods, underwater weighing, which is just not very feasible. Air displacement, again, you need large devices that are extremely expensive. Not really worth it for a doctor when they could use something as simple as the BMI, but they're not getting the best results. But nowadays, there's scales. If you've been in a gym, they probably have you hold these sensors out your arm length. It's bioelectrical impedance that will measure your body fat. Is it 100% accurate? Is it as accurate as doing an air displacement? Probably not. But the one that I have, the Vaunt scale, is extremely consistent. And that's really the key, is you want to see which way you're going. The reason I chose the Vaunt is, one, it measures your weight, obviously. It measures body fat, but that's not probably one of the main reasons I got it. It measures water, how much water is in your system. And to me, as someone that's not always drinking enough water, especially in the winter, knowing where I sit, how far below I am where I'm supposed to be, or if I'm right on, that's the reason I chose that scale. But these scales, the handhelds, they're a lot more accurate than they used to be. I mean, they came out in it was between 93 and 97. I was in college. I just don't remember what year. And we had somebody come in, a sales rep, into our classroom, and everybody went through it. And we had the first person that did it went and drank as much water as they could and came back and retested, and their body fat percentage dropped. I tried the same thing with this scale. My body fat percentage stayed exactly the same. So they're a lot more accurate. It's easier now to test body fat than it ever has been in the past. So if we can make that shift from overweight to overfat, we don't want to necessarily lose weight, we want to lose fat. That's the key. Let's take a 200-pound person as an example. 200-pound person that is 20% body fat, which puts you right in the middle of average, what they considered average for a male. And I'm going off of a 200-pound male. Puts them right in the average. The average body fat for a healthy male is 18 to 24%. So we're going to use 20% just as for easy calculations. So a 200-pound male with 20% body fat has 40 pounds of fat on their body and 160 pounds of not fat, lean muscle, bones, organs, so on and so forth. Now let's just jump that up to, we'll go to the overweight category, which is for a male is 25 to 29%. We'll put it right in the middle again, 27% body fat. That person drops up to 54 pounds of fat. And obviously if your fat's going up and you're the same weight, what's happening? The rest of the stuff, the lean muscle, bone, organs, most likely your organs aren't changing. That number's dropping significantly. So what's the problem with that? The problem is lean muscle is what helps to control your metabolism, helps with fat loss, helps to support just healthy activity. You have more muscle, you're stronger, it's easier for you to do the activities that you need to throughout the day, throughout your life. Now let's just say someone wanted to lose weight, as everybody does. Well, that same person, if they lost body fat, let's say they stayed exactly the same, and they lost that 7% body fat, well, they went from 54 pounds of fat down to 40, but their weight stayed the same, so what happened? Their lean muscle mass had to come up because, again, most likely your bones didn't get a little more dense, maybe slightly, but not enough to make a huge difference. And your organs, you're not going to gain weight because your organs are getting larger, hopefully. So that helps you in the long run is what I'm trying to get to. Down the road, it's easier to maintain your weight loss because, as I just said a couple seconds ago, lean muscle helps to enhance your metabolism, helps to burn fat. So the more lean muscle you have, the better that is. Now let's go the exact opposite. Let's take that person that is 27% body fat, but let's say, and they're 200 pounds, but they want to lose weight and they're not concerned with their body fat. Well, and let's say they go down to, just pick any number. We'll do this 185. They go down to 185 pounds. On the BMI scale, they're probably sitting pretty good now. The problem is when you're focusing on losing weight and not losing fat, what are you losing? 1, you're losing fat. 2, you're losing lean muscle. 3, you're losing water weight. And the problem is, what did we just say about lean muscle? It helps to regulate your metabolism. It helps to burn fat. So if we're losing muscle because we're losing weight, well, guess what? Now it's going to be harder for us to maintain our weight, and most likely we are going to gain more weight. That's the problem with yo-yo diets. There's a lot of people, you focus on that quick weight loss. Well, the quick weight loss, yeah, you're going to lose some fat, but you're losing muscle, and when you lose muscle, your metabolism drops. And if you don't make healthy lifestyle changes, well, guess what's going to happen? Once you stop whatever radical diet you were doing, your weight starts to creep up. Then guess what? Here's where we were, and the weight keeps going up, and the dog found something that she wants outside. So I want you, that's my goal for everybody for the year. If you're making resolutions now, I hope this information helps you. Don't focus on weight loss. Let's focus on losing that fat. Let's get rid of some of those diseases that are easier taken care of. And let's just live a healthier life. If you need help with anything, if you need help understanding this more, or if you just want to know where the heck you can get your body fat tested, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you. If you're local to me, we can meet up. You can use the scale. Doesn't matter to me. And we will go from there. How do you lose body fat? Proper nutrition, exercise, chasing a dog around that's barking. Just kidding. Proper nutrition and exercise are key. You do not have to spend 16 hours in a gym. It's not as hard or as laborsome as you would think. But when you're there, you have to work. But again, goals for the year, not weight loss, fat loss. Let's get after it. Have a great day. Have a great year. Any questions, reach out. Peace, guys.